If you follow news, then you may know that in the financial year 2021, Gautam Shantilal Adani's net worth rose even more than Jeff Bezos, Bill Gates, and Elon Musk. But can you imagine how this man who had to left his studies at the age of 16-17 made $60 billion after 40 years? So, in this video, we will know how Adani made his billions. But before we get started, make sure that you have subscribed to our YouTube channel and hit the bell icon so that you get notified for all our future videos. Firstly, let me tell you how big is Adani Group. In the year 2020, their revenue was $15 billion, which is more than 1.1 lakh crore rupees. They operate in several sectors like transportation, logistics, utilities, agriculture, infrastructure, energy, financial services, defense, and the list goes on. And if we talk about their achievements, they are India's largest sports and logistic business. They operate India's largest private thermal power plant. They are largest producer of India. They are largest private power transmission business, largest renewable energy business, largest coal trading business, largest agro and mining business, and largest producer of solar power. They operate at such a high level that they are best in all of these sectors. Now let's talk about his early life. Gautam Adani was born on 24th June 1962 in Ahmedabad, Gujarat. His father was a textile businessman. He did his schooling from Ahmedabad, but when he was in the second year of his college, he had to drop because of family reasons. He had an option to join his father's business, but he wasn't interested to join his father. Instead, he wants to make his own identity. So he moved to Mumbai in 1978 with just 100 rupees when he was just 16 years old and started working as a diamond sorter under Mahindra Brothers. After getting a work experience of 2 years, he started his own diamond sorting business. Later in 1981, he was called back to Ahmedabad to manage his brother's plastic factory. In around 1984, the government made import laws more flexible, so Adani started importing plastic for small industries. During this period, the financial system of government was also not well. In the late 1980s and early 1990s, India's foreign exchange reserve fell drastically. To deal with that, government planned to aid the businesses which focus on exports. Adani was a quick decision maker and took the opportunity. He started Adani Exports in 1988 with a capital of rupees 5 lakhs and their business boomed. He grew so fast that in the period of few years, he was among the top traders of the country. Then he also joined port business, but at that time ports were very congested, which led to delays in shipment. The government realized that if they want to improve infrastructure, they had to focus on public-private partnerships. Adani took this opportunity. He tied up with the Gujarat government and planned to set up a port at Mundra, which was just a village at that time. Adani had no experience of building and setting up ports, but he strongly believed in himself and partnership with the government. After 15 years, now Mundra port is the largest private port in India, which helped him to grow significantly. And using the same strategy, Adani expanded in other sectors. For example, during 2003, there were frequent power shortages. So to counter that, government did amendments in the Electricity Act. And when rules came in 2006, Adani also got in power generation sector. And in 2012-13, he also got in power transmission sector. And then they purchased Reliance Power Distribution and came in the power distribution sector too. Whenever government wanted to set up projects with private players, Adani took the opportunity. They also came in defense and aerospace sector because government wanted these things to be made in India. They are also setting up data centers so that data of Indian users remain in India. You must be thinking how only Adani got all these projects. The answer is simple. It's not easy for anyone without having a large sum of money. Adani's good leadership and negotiation skills made him a billionaire. Adani acquired Udaipur thermal power plant for rupees 6,000 crores in just 100 hours of negotiation. Adani's excellent communication skills helped him to convince Nitish Kumar, the railway minister at that time, to set up port rail linkage policy. You must be thinking he is working in a lot of different sectors, but if you closely observe, you will get to know that all these sectors complement each other. They do mining of coal and then they have their logistic business. Now, their transportation business transport the coal to their power plants, and Then they have their transmission and distribution services. All this helped him to get cost benefits and made it easier to compete with others. But nothing could be so much ideal. There are several controversies with the Adani Group, like the environmental concern over their Australian project. The project has been highly controversial, with disputes over its claimed economic benefits, financial viability, and environmental damage. The hashtag Stop Adani campaign is constantly opposed to Carmichael, claiming that if Carmichael goes ahead, it will destroy the ancestral lands, waters, and cultures of indigenous people without their consent, increase shipping traffic through the Great Barrier Reef Heritage Area, and add around 4.7 billion tons of carbon pollution to the atmosphere over its 60 years lifespan. Adani insists that it has engaged every step on the way with the traditional owners, the Wangan and Jagalingo people, which voted to support the land use agreement with Adani, and followed all federal and state legislative process to establish land tenure for the Carmichael project. The claim that Adani has support of the Wangan and Jagalingo people has been contested, with critics unhappy at the way in which support was sought. People also say that Adani has Modi's ear. When the Indian government approved the privatization of 6 airports in 2018, it relaxed the rules to widen the pool of competition, allowing companies without any experience in the sector to bid. There was one clear winner from the rule change: Gautam Adani, the billionaire industrialist with no history of running airports, scooped up all 6. His clean sweep was met with outrage. The Kerala's finance minister said Mr. Adani winning the 50-year lease to operate the Trivandrum International Airport was an act of Brazilian cornism that show how central government favored politically connected tycoons. India's aviation minister replied that open bidding process was carried out in a transparent manner. Overnight, Mr. Adani became one of the country's biggest private airport operators. Also, according to a recent controversy, Adani Group has ties with Myanmar military, which had overthrown the democratically elected government in Myanmar. But it's good if Indian companies grow in India. If not, then foreign companies will take over these businesses, like in the case of monopoly of Chinese companies in Indian market. So it's important for us to promote local companies. You can see that Adani Group is still expanding to other sectors such as Adani Green Energy. With such a vision of the company, the stock prices of this group had grown even more than 1,000%, having a market capitalization of more than $1 trillion. We could learn from Adani that how an ordinary person could make a conglomerate empire in just 40 years with his extraordinary decision making and hard working. Hope you like the video. Make sure that you subscribe to our channel if you are interested in science and business.